The angel opens her eyes, pale blue colored iris, presents a circle and puts the glory out to hide. Hide. Oh, I can feel it coming back again like a rolling thunder chasing the wind. Forces pulling from the center of the earth again. I could feel it. I don't know if I timed that properly because just as I was about to hit the record button, I see Silver was still going downtown to Chinatown from its rocket ride this morning, but that was what the whole feeling was all about. You know, that feeling, feel it coming back again. That's what Silver's doing. Silver making its way up to you, babe, with the burning love inside. Let's take a look. Hey, where are we at? Oh, write it down. 2601, new all-time high. Where are we at? 2.601. Write it down in case it tries to dip back under 26. And that is up. We're having a good day. Up 77,632, $78,706 bills. And I told lady friend on the way to the YMCA, I said the motto this week is let the springing begin. She's like, what in the world does that even mean? So, well, you hear me talking about coiled springs from time to time, and I know you do as well. And that's what silver and gold are doing. And I told her this is let the springing begin. However, early on after opening or towards closing, look for the banking cartel to try to put their thumb on our heads again. And that's what they've been doing. And I'll show you that right here. You see that this thing has been, well, is that all of the five? Then we're going to get a B, C down before we start taking off again. That could be it because it's basically played out pretty good. If we move this over here, whoop, and then our target, is our target still on there anywhere? We targeted 32 for that move, and that's what we make a dizzy, Bart, but you can see what the cartel is doing right here. Whoop, hammer down, putting the old hammer down on us. So we'll see what goes on there. But I think what we're finding is that the cartel is losing some of its momentum. It's going to try its best all week to put silver and gold down. And we are going to fight for our right to profit by keeping that up. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, if this is just a typical move and the cartel forces this into a corrective A, B, C, let's just hope that it is indeed corrective and not impulsive to the south. Because if they are, they're doing a great job keeping it under 32, as you can see, because 32 is the next number to take out and hold. As 30 became that number, you know, they did their darndest to keep silver under 30. You can see all the tests and retests and the breakdowns. But I think this is the move that'll set up the next, hopefully, support. In fact, we'll probably need support to be maybe something a little more in the 3140 range. We'll call it 3150 just to be, we like round numbers when it comes to these psychological levels. And we have a big white line up there already, don't we? 3150. We probably have that words on there. Take this out somewhere. I'm just excited. Sorry, I'm babbling as usual. Target, that was the low. So I don't know. I put so many things up here. Sometimes I confuse myself, but I like to leave them up to see how they perform. And right now, this, and you've watched it. We diagrammed this thing before it even started, and we got our 5 moves up. But I'm hoping that this correction is just a quick ABC and finding support. I don't know. Finding support. 31 would be real nice as a base case, as in worst case scenario. 3150 would be brilliant. So we got our eyes on that. Nothing went on today I think you saw both of these trades on Friday. We did buy another 1,000 shares of UCO. That is a bull on oil. And we did buy another round of leaps on the SLV, which is a silver ETF. Those are leaps because, in my definition, they're over a year out as far as expiration. We went to 28 strike on these, just like, hey, that's how positive I am about silver and gold having a brilliant 2025. 100 contracts there. Paid $42,000, but we haven't done anything today. But now our junior miners, our SILJ, our junior silver miners, are up $1,800, and that one was downtown to Chinatown from the moment we put it on. The GLD 245 leaps are still way underwater. The 240s have come up for a breather. The silver, the SLV 26s are just doing fantastic. They're up 13.81%, or almost, well, just over 21,000. 27 strikes are up 12,500, and there's our 28 that we just put on Friday. That's up 6,000 at the moment. But the cartel is attempting to beat it down right now. But if we can hold some of that support, then they're in trouble, because one of the manipulations that they do over and over and over again is shorting. So they pour on the short contracts, and it's all just make-believe paper silver. If we would just call them to the carpet, it would be enormous, maybe the biggest short squeeze in the history of short squeezes would take place. And all of us that are working with silver would be like, we're rich, which is, we want to punish these criminals. That's essentially what they are. They're criminals. What they do is against the law, yet they continue to do it over and over again. I'll have to pull up that article. It was from just a few years ago when JP Morgan was fined, I don't know, over $100 million when they got caught with red-handed manipulating the silver market. But they all do it. Boyle, that is a bull on natural gas. If you've been watching for the last number of days with me in the Boyle trade, we went down. We were down over $6,000, kept holding. We were white knuckling it, and now we're up 18. It was up over like 22,000 earlier today. So I'm looking for it to return to over $42. Let's take a look at it right here. Yeah, it was up as high as, well, pre-market, it was up at 42.82. Low of the day, 40.42. High of the trading day, 42.12. And then currently at 41.22. And our position is 38.15. But to get there, we were buying on the way down, and that's obviously what I've found up to this point of my education, that is the most difficult thing to do. But if you have conviction. All right, so that Boyle, that was that 2-day Boyle trade, which was beautiful. $5,413. And then just a couple days later, on December 3rd, is when we started entering again. So you can see we bought 3,000 shares at 38.71. And then what did it do? Well, it just kept going down. So we bought another 1,000 shares at 38.03. But we weren't done yet. Added another 1,000 shares here at 36.65. And that's what brought us to our average of 38.15. And right now, that trade is looking very nice. It's such a violent mover, though. Natural gas just on its own, but when you add leverage to it in the Boyle ETF, you got to watch yourself, or you'll get cooked. So you can see it just going. It likes to make big moves from 41. So at 12.30, 41.84, 150, 41.13. That's a pretty big move. What else you got going on? Still holding our AGQs, and I don't know if we're going to, this will probably be with us until next year, this AGQ, unless there's strong signs that the cartel is going to get another leg up on us. Otherwise, I'm going to be holding this position and then buying the dips. This is a 2x Silver Bull AGQ ETF. And then our oil, our UCO, is now in the green just a little bit. Had a nice move up this morning, got up all the way to 25.84, and it's meandered its way down from there. And then this, I don't like the look of that. but I do like to look that we're in the green. We still feel good about the trade, although oil's been so hard to trade lately. I'd love to be able to trade it because I love to sing the Beverly Hillbillies theme song to you, but try not to force it too much. There's the hammer on silver. This is silver futures. These are daily candles, so that's not going to tell the story yet. But this is the story we talked about last week. This range at some point is going to give, and where it's going to give is going to be up here. We're going to break through this. Do they try to beat it back down to this trend line? Possibly, yes. I mean, they're trying as we speak, but as you can see, that trend line is going where we want it to go. And of course, that is too. So even if we stay in this range, that range is going to be higher lows and higher highs, but we are going to break out through this number. I would imagine it would be the earliest is going to be within the, between now and the end of the year. Latest is probably going to be, you're just guessing now, right? Yeah, but based on everything I've studied all year, I've been watching silver like a psychopath. Like that character from the show on Netflix, I just put on my little hat, my little baseball hat, so you don't see me watching, and then I just watch you, silver. Keep an eye on you. Gold. Wait, no, that's SLV. So that is the silver ETF that we're basing our leaps on. We have three different positions on SLV, 26, 27, and $28 strike calls. Oh, I wanted to hold 2.6 and higher all day. Currently not happening because the cartel is just still having their way with silver. Gold, we got a beautiful ABC to the 4 here. We got a perfect 1 and 2, but now we've got a meander. But I'm watching this here. This is the 50-day moving average, this turquoisey green. And I'm looking for that to close above the moving average 50-day today. And it's battling it. Look, it's right there. That'll be a good sign for us with regard to the battle against the cartel. Bitcoin, it could go either way. Oh yeah, wow, profound. No, it can. And this thing here, this crazy move here, still has me perplexed. Do we count this thing? Because obviously that'd be a local low from what we want to see, but I just have a sneaking Bitcoin chart-based suspicion that this thing could go. This can challenge that low. This move here. What would need to hold? Would need to hold. I don't know if we can measure that from there to there. I'm talking to myself. Let's just measure it anyway and see what happens. Move the chart up. Whoa, no, that's not it. Put this back here. Hold on. We got this thing turned around. We got this thing backwards. I mean, do we count? No, wait, let's go here. Let me just see what this says. Singing again, huh? I don't know. I mean, the most immediate bullish move I would believe is if this is the pivot. If we put a box right in there, how do we do that? Shapes, rectangle, right in between these fibs. Let's just put it there for fun. And this would be what I would consider the most immediately bullish. How do I get that text in there again? There it is. Pivot. If you know where that comes from, you're pretty cool. Let's put the pivot in there through this box, and then we're challenging this for sure. Okay, we'll do the old arrow action. This arrow, I never can get this arrow to work. I always say to myself, on the weekends, I'm going to practice how to use this thing. And I never do. Too busy watching sports. Where's that arrow at? Is my head in the way? Arrow marker. Yeah, let's put an arrow marker here. Pivot or Chinatown is what it's going to be. Pivot or Chinatown. Let's put that on here. Mm-hmm. Pivot or Chinatown. So now you know where my mad thinking is on this. It could do one or the other. Wow, again, very profound. But this is what I'm looking for. Okay. A bounce inside. It could bounce right now and it would qualify. But I don't really wanted to see it go past this 382 on the retrace extension. Yeah, I know I got it backwards, but you get what I'm saying. We got to turn this around. I'll turn it around on the off camera. But that's the idea. Turn up soon or look for a bigger fall. Here is the Boyle shares that I have. What'd they get up to today? 42 over 42, right? Yeah. 42.24. Currently at 41. We're looking for it to just all the way up through 50. Did I put a target on that? What do we got here? 54. I don't want to get too crazy, but no, you would do. Let's leave 60 on as a target just for fun. I don't have high confidence in that, but anywhere approaching this, threatening this third wave is just going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And you see what went on. Like, this is pre-market. This thing, look, we had the 320 target on. It's currently at 317. We had the warning Will Rogers down here at 299. And we tested it. Well, I should say more than tested it. Broke through, but immediately turned right back around when we did, and then tested it again. And then it was like, we're off to the races. This would have been, I don't know. I don't even know what Boyle would have been at that number. Can't you tell pre-market? Yeah, but I don't want to switch back to another chart as I speak to you out loud. Streaming Thoughts by Jack Handy. But I still think we're taking that out. But still, even though I got a 320 target on that and we meandered above it after it retraced big time, went back up, consolidated, then said, nope, I'm heading back down. Good sign it came back up. We got this breakout line in, and that's if we can close above that breakout line. And you saw me put this green line right up to that 320 last week. We got that, but is that all we're going to get? I don't think so. I think we still got some legs left in us in the natty gas. There is our range for oil. Again, had a nice beginning to the day. It's retreated way more than I would want to see it retreat. But I still feel good because it hasn't taken out the low of the day. It's still above the low of the day. What else? How many charts you got up here? I'm watching GDX. What are we watching? Okay, we're wondering if we got our 2 in place. It appears we definitely have the 2 in place, but so this would have been an A equals C scenario, which is very common in a corrective ABC. Would be A equals C for the 2 down. Are we, see that? Yeah, that could be 1 2 1 2, or this could just be the 1 2 3 of the 3 with this working on a 4. Yeah, let's just put this in for a minute. It would need to turn like now, basically. And then what do you want to do? Let's just put up at like 39.50 for fun. And we'll just track that and see what goes on. We can't get much lower. Where are we at? 3808, 3807. We'll just, do you want to just call it 38 for fun? If we can hold 38, then we should be kicking into this upper 5. Otherwise, we might be looking at a different setup that we'll have to take a closer look. But I would be looking for it to turn up any minute, any second. How about now? 38.18. Can we get a 38.19? Going once, going twice. What else is up here? Oh, yeah, TLT. Okay, first of all, we've made some money in TLT lately. We use TMF as our exaggerated version of it. When's the last exit? Yeah, right there. November 25th, we exited 7,000 shares and profited $15,357. And we weren't in it that long, were we? Let's see. So that was on the 25th. Where are the TMF purchases? There's 2,000 shares on 11/13. Here's 2,000 more shares on the 12th. Here's 2,000 more shares on the 11th. 1,000 shares on the 8th. And 1,000 shares on the 7th. So that is 18 days. So in 18 days on 7,000 shares, we made $15,357. So I'm still stalking it and still feel the same in that we've got it's definitely set up for another move to the upside. I think we're in a 4. Let's just take a look at that chart because I wanted to just show you some of the stuff that we were looking at. Remember, we had the warning Will Rogers here. We were battling it this whole way, looking for this trend line to break out, and it did. Tested, and then we had a nice breakout. I sold early, of course, but we had this target. We got to take this out, took that out, and we basically stayed above it since. Had the target of 95. I'm going to say the next move is still that target, but can I get an entry? Can I get an entry? And this is where it would we would want to see the pivot, like right here. In fact, let's put the pivot box in, but we'll take out the fib targets. Okay, all right. You know what? What is it between? Like 93. Let's call it right where it's at, between 93 and 93.50. Is that tight enough? Because let's remove everything and start over. Leave those indicators. I was really working on the 50-day and 200-day moving averages over the weekend on things in my studies. So, yeah. Is this... Let's just look at this. Let's just put some things up here for fun. Hold on. It's amateur hour here on the trading floor. 3, 4, 5. Okay, but we are going to let's put the pivot box up on here, and we'll throw that 3 in the middle of it. What do you say? Can we put more words in there? Whoa. Let's do that. And then this. There we go. Pivot. Whoa. Let's get a pivot going. Oh, okay. So that's going to be in the middle. Let's go wider then. How's that? Talking to myself. This thing's upsetting me. This is like a comedy show and nobody's laughing. Can I put the 4 back in there? Why wouldn't you be able to? Okay, that's what we're looking for. In fact, we got 2 greens since that. Very tempted to get into a long here to try to catch this 5th wave up. Let me give me a trend line. Drum roll, please. Let's put it in the middle here. We'll roll it up here. It's probably, let's go higher than, since this candle, let's put this up here. Since this candle got to like 94.86, let's put the 5th wave up at like 95.5. Okay. All right. We'll just, all right. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm talking about, as they say. Let's look for this. This is what I'm looking for. All right. So here's my trigger today. We got less than an hour to go in the trading day. I'm watching for a round number, 93.50. So we're 4 cents away. How would that relate to TMF? I'll figure that out on my own. And then I'll put that bid in and see if it gets filled before the day is over. Because either way, because this could do 2 things. One, it's can crash right through. Could crash right through, but then maybe this turns out to be an ABC corrective. And then either way, I think the moves are still up. The moves like Jagger, still up. And they're still trying to do a number on silver. AGQ down from its height of the day. AGQ, which you know is my darling, my sweetheart. It's down $1.30 since it's the high of the day. It's a lot. A lot of movement. So that is that. Let's put the target up. This is a TLT or dynamite. In this particular round, that is our target. 95.50, but we're watching for this here because this is typically where, I'd buy and then I'd watch it continue to go down, maybe all the way to the bottom of this box, maybe further where I start to cry a little, lose sleep. I don't lose sleep over this because I really am learning a few things and I'm controlling my emotions better than I ever have, which gives me the ability to buy as it goes down. How can you catch a swing trade if you don't buy on the lower side and sell on the higher side? All right. I know these videos are just off the cuff and I'm basically stream of consciousness, but that's currently how I'm learning, by thinking while I'm doing. I do a lot of thinking before I do, plan things out, measure things, run a bunch of charts. What is, if this then that, all that type of scenario, and it's been pretty good so far this year. I've been very satisfied with my learning or my education process of where I stand at this moment compared to a year ago. And all I'm doing is trying to make incremental improvements to my style, because we all have to have an individual style. In the very beginning, I was just following everybody, Twitter, YouTube, etc., making trades that they would make, not even knowing why I was doing it. I was doing research into these companies and things, but then a handful of things just slapped me around, and I'll have a separate video about that. Like, if you're a longtime viewer of the channel, then I had a real battle with Target, and it was because they had like these crazy tuck-a-buck swimsuits. You've heard me use that terminology before. If you know what I'm talking about, Target tuck-a-buck swimsuits for men, bikinis, where you can, I don't need to go any further than that. And then I battled that, trying to catch a falling knife, and it turned out to be a falling knife until it wasn't. Battled it. I didn't enjoy that. I mean, I enjoyed that it ended with way less damage than it started, but I want to enjoy the process, the thinking through, the learning, the trial by error, the ready, fire, aim, which is my style anyways. I had another big, this was early on. I I sold a bunch of puts on Signature Bank of New York, and they essentially went out of business. And, laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. They went out of business, and I lost $42,000. Just, it was gone. It evaporated. And that was another one where I was like, I don't really want that to happen again. So that's why you have seen me attracted like a magnet to ETFs, even the leverage ones, but ETFs in general, because I don't have to be challenged by one piece of information that can bring a company down. I saw some company, it was a pharmaceutical company, they're working on a weight loss drug. Imagine that. And they've abandoned their trials and they were down 69% pre-market. I don't want to be in that position ever again. Will I still continue from time to time to trade individual names? I will, but I haven't in a while, and you've noticed that. So I'm trying to establish my own trading thesis, plan, philosophies, rules. One of them that I'm trying to do lately is to give your conviction backed trades time to work. Like that recent loss I had in BitX. Was it BitX or Biddy? I'd have to look up which one's which. It was the long Bitcoin. I had the right trade. I just didn't give it enough time to work. So I was stopped out in the meantime, and then it took off, of course. So mistakes you make, hopefully you learn. Knocking on making a trade here. It's just teasing me though, isn't it? Long video, lots of words, a lot of babbling. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. My Packers kicked off the weekend on Thursday with a loss to the Lions. Made a good comeback at the end, but I will tell you, just as I said before the game, the Lions are the real deal. So if you're a Lions fan, congratulations, because I know you've suffered for a long, long time, but enjoyed a nice round of F1, last race of the year. Got a bunch of big changes going on in F1 next year I'm excited about. Max Verstappen, my favorite driver, won his 4th consecutive championship, but the end of the year ended with McLaren being the constructors champion, which is essentially means they won the team championship. Watch the Bears get annihilated. Coco is home from now through first week or two in January for Christmas break. We have Fab Five plus my brother, sister-in-law, nephew, and mother dinner tonight, an annual pre-Christmas event. Then afterwards, we're going to a company Christmas party, friend's company's Christmas party. So we got that going for us as well. But that is what's happening here. Hope you are having a wonderful start to the trading week. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend. And I will see you in the next video.